Coming in hot. This is what fried zucchini looks like. If you've never had fried zucchini before, you've got to try this recipe. It's my favorite go-to snack. It's my comfort food. It's fried, so it satisfies, but it's also healthy for you. I know I always say that, but this really is healthy for you. It's fried zucchini. Don't forget to check out this try-on haul where I have my underboob t-shirt and of course from Shein along with my pasties. And let's get into it. So here we have our fried zucchini. Well, it's not fried yet, but it will be. So I have 4 large, nice size, great color. The skin is not messed up because we're going to actually ink the skin. It's good for you. So we have these 4 that I have washed like really good under soap and water so that I can make sure that if I'm going to ink the skin, I want to make sure I wash this really good with soap and water just so that I know it's clean. But make sure you rinse all the soap off and do it before you start cutting it up because you don't want to put soap on it after you cut it open. So make sure it's nice and pretty and clean, and that is our main ingredient. Our other ingredients are a bowl of milk, a spoon, a draining spoon, a knife, a cutting board. Let's see. I might, wardrobe malfunction. I mean, whatever you call that. Okay, so I have my cutting board and my knife and my spoon. I have my zucchini and an extra bowl because we're going to need this bowl for flour. Our bowl with milk. I'm sure we can see that on the video. Our bowl of milk and our spices. So we are going to have garlic salt. I put this in everything. My 3 favorites. Cajun seasoning and Creole. And here's our eggs. We're going to need 2 eggs. We're going to put them in our milk. So we got those. Grease in a pan. So I have already poured my grease into my pan. And I'm going to go ahead and start getting that hot while we talk about the flour. I'm just going to turn this on to medium if I can find the right lever. We need our oil. I use olive oil into our pan that we're going to fry it in, so we want to start getting that hot. And we also need our flour is our main ingredient, and well, our second main ingredient. That's the crust on the crispy part of our fried zucchini. So it's actually going to be like fried okra or like fried anything. So I like to use a mixture of whole wheat flour. This is stone ground white whole wheat flour. And then cornmeal, because it gives it a nice crunch. That's what we want it, crunchy and soft and warm and inside. It's going to be so delicious. You're going to love it. And let's get into this. All right, so we're going to need to first cut up our zucchini. Those are just all our ingredients. We got our grease getting hot, and we need to cut. So this is to take it out the grease. The only other ingredient that we need, it's not really an ingredient, it's more of a tool. And that's going to be paper towels, napkins, something to drain the grease off of our zucchini. So I have a plate here with some napkins on it. You got paper towels, anything like that. Okay, so we're going to need to put our eggs and our spices into our bowl of milk. So spices are going to be garlic salt, and I just sprinkle enough on top to give it a really good flavor. That's probably about it. That was probably about a teaspoon. This is probably about a teaspoon of Creole. And another teaspoon of Cajun. And I like to be able to smell it after I mix it together. I don't have a stir stick, so I'm just going to use my knife. And, ooh, I get pepper in my nose every time, I swear. Okay. All right, so yeah, you want to smell it. Oh, and the aroma needs to be just Oh my gosh, it's already gonna smell how it's gonna taste. And that's the beautiful part about spices is they actually smell what they taste like. There's no deception. Alright, so I'm gonna put my spoon and my napkins aside because that's the end stage. Right now I'm going to cut up these beautiful zucchinis. Look how pretty and green they are. And, oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. The eggs. So I like to crack my eggs into a dish first so that if it's a bad egg or I get a shell in it, I don't have to start my mixture all over again. And even professionals get shells in their food. There's egg number 1, shell free, and egg number 2. It works better, I think, when I crack it on the table, but here we go. Shells free. And then we are actually going to need a fork to whisk this together. A regular fork just to whisk in the eggs before we add our zucchini. Are you down here looking at my bowl? Sometimes I feel like my GoPro doesn't go down far enough. Sometimes it's easier if you mix your eggs in the bowl before you mix them into your milk, but you just got to give it a really good stir. Woo! Don't do that. My grease is probably gonna pop. I got milk in my grease, so it's gonna fry my milk for me. That's lovely. There we go. I'll get these angles right one day. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. I hope you had a good day, or I hope at least it's good now. And I hope you're enjoying my my freak show here. My knife is clean again, and let's cut up my zucchini. So I'm going to cut the tip off. This little part right here, I don't want that piece. Technically, you could eat it, but it's the stem. And then I do the same to this side. I just cut off this piece. And I'm going to cut this in half. And then I'm going to cut it both ways like a... what else do you cut in half like this? I don't know. Just cut it in half, and then you're going to cut it... Oh, I forgot what I was cooking for a minute. You really don't want to cut it in half, actually. You want it whole. You want it, like, round like this. Because then you can eat it like a fried onion ring almost. Like, you want to fry it like that, but you can still eat it if you cut it in half. It just becomes a half fried zucchini. So sometimes I like mine thicker, and some pieces I like thinner. It depends on how crispy you like them. The thicker they are, the more mushier they're going to be on the inside, whereas the thinner, the crispier they're going to be. So I like to do a variety of shapes and sizes, and obviously because I didn't even remember how I cut up my fried zucchini. It's been a minute, okay? So I'm just going to slice this like this and try to get these into my milk and egg bath. And I might have to take my grease off the stove if it gets much hotter. Don't burn your grease while you're waiting to cut up your zucchini. So if you could tell here, I shouldn't talk and cut at the same time. Just kidding. So this piece is like, these ones are all pretty uniformed. I got these pretty similar to each other. They're just about, what would you call that, like 3 centimeters, a 1/4 an inch thick. Let's call that. And I'm actually going to take my grease off the heat because I don't want it to burn. And I'm going to put my bowl of milk. I don't know where you can see my bowl of milk. Let's see, we'll put these over here. And can you see this? Here? Right? Alright. So we'll cut right here. And we're going to toss them in here. And these ones I'm going to leave round. Oop, like that. But I kind of want them a little bit thinner when they're round like that, because I think they get a little bit crispier the thinner you cut like this. If you're going to leave them whole. I like them maybe more like 1/8 of an inch thick. And that's why we made this nice big bowl, so we could try to cut up as many of these as possible that will fit into our milk bath before it overfills itself. And certain people, I think, might like their fried zucchini in different thicknesses, so I kind of just like to make a variety of slices, which might be, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, alright, so I'm just going to slice through this one. This one's going to be nice and small. This one's going to be extra crunchy because it's little. Don't worry if it's not the same shape or size. Just get it in your milk and we can make it to the next stage. So, we are almost done here. Cutting up our fried zucchini. I was kind of hoping all 4 would fit in the bowl, but that's going to be a lot. So, these were really big zucchinis. Sometimes they're smaller. You could also use summer squash, like the yellow, the green ones, whatever kind of squash. Zucchini is in the squash family, like pumpkins, and it's also one of the really best things for us ever from the garden, from the earth. So, I think though, ooh, don't do that. I think I'm going to stop here, and then I think I'm going to, so we're going to let this sit while we mix up our flour, and our flour is going in this bowl that our zucchini was in. So, we're going to season our flour mixture just like we did our zucchini, but first, I want to make sure every single zucchini is separated from each other and in the milk bath. Because I need it to really suck up that moisture so it'll hold on to the flour. Because if these aren't moist enough, flour is not going to stick to it. So you really want to make sure you get this milky. Milk the zucchini before you fry it. And again, please check out my try-on haul. This is my underboob t-shirt try-on haul. It will be out soon if you haven't seen the live version. And thanks for watching, and please smash that subscribe, the like, and the bell for my algorithm. Give me the thumbs up. I got 2 thumbs up. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to stop playing with this. This just sits for a second while we make our flour. And in our flour, we're going to have, obviously, flour. I'm going to pour about 1 cup in here. Actually, I'm going to pour about 2.5 cups because I always end up having to make more halfway through. So actually, just do 3 cups. It goes fast in the zucchini. So 3 cups of that and about 1 cup of the cornmeal. Yep. So it's going to be about a 1-to-3 ratio. I think that's how you say that. I'm going to use the clean part of my spoon here to stir this up so I don't have to get another utensil. Save my dishwashing. And I'm also going to add all my seasonings to my flour. So right now it just looks like this. And my zucchini is looking like this in its bath. It actually looks like you could eat it like that, but I don't think I would like raw zucchini. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Cooked zucchini, yes. Alright, so there's not much left in here, so I'm actually just going to, that was about 1 tablespoon of garlic salt. And then I'm going to put about 1 teaspoon of Creole. Maybe 2 teaspoons. And then I'm going to put my Cajun seasoning, about another 1 to 2 tablespoons. Oh, this is what makes me sneeze every time. I'll do it like this. Is it enough? Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining me live. We're making fried zucchini. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And it is a Monday. So this comfort food at the end of a Monday is a beautiful thing, I'm telling you what. Alright. So again, I'm going to use the back of my spoon to stir in my spice. Okay, so I'm going to put the zucchini in the milk and then in the flour and then straight into the grease. So let's get our grease back on that heat. Give it another quick little second. That's getting nice and hot. So what we're going to do is I like to just dip these one more time before I pull them out of the milk. So I like to just make sure they get a nice soak on them. I'm going to take it like this, throw it in my milk. So I'm going to individually take each piece out and throw them into the milk until I have a nice little layer here. So I kind of fill my surface area up with my zucchini. So here we go. And then what we're going to do is kind of just shake it. You can use the back for this and do a shake and bake kind of method, but I'm just going to flip them a couple times. I usually use my fingers, but my fingers get messy, and I have a lot to clean. I mean, a lot to make, so I'm going to try to be less messy today. See how far that goes. So now you can see this has a nice little thin coating of flour. It doesn't actually get too much flour around it. It's just a nice thin little coat, and it will be enough. But this is our test piece because our grease is not hot enough yet. And if it was hot enough, it would be like bubbling to the surface, but it just sunk. So that one's probably going to be a really greasy one. I'm going to put a little bit of flour in the bottom like this, just so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And I'm actually just going to line up my zucchini in here so it's all ready for the grease. So I'm just going to take them out and put them in here. Take these nice little coated pieces out and put them in here. It's pretty simple. I like to make everything complicated. But yeah, milk it, bread it, grease it. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll have to make my own music so we could be listening to music while I'm doing all this, because this is going to take a minute. So I'm just going to go hands in. Try to do this as fast as possible. Get as many in here as possible. Dig them down into the flour. Flip them around a little bit. Coat both sides. And then we're going to line them up and let them get ready for the fryer. So the fried zucchini in the grease right there is finally starting to kind of come to the surface. So it's almost hot enough to start throwing these babies in there. Alright. Got those. We need some more. And it might be faster if I just do like 4 at a time, so I'm just not like looking through them all. Let's see. Bam. Bam. We really need that bubbling though, so we might get all these breaded before our oil's ready again and before our grease is ready again. And shake it real good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at a time. This is like where that shake and bake method with the back works out really well, because then you can kind of like coat them a little bit faster. But I like the old-fashioned way. Get your hands dirty. And then every once in a while I just sprinkle a little bit more flour over them, because I really want them to stick to that nice little breading. And mix up your flour that you're breading in, because this part can tend to settle. Like as you're dipping the egg stuff on your zucchini, it'll, the good stuff kind of ends up at the bottom. So just good to fluff it up every once in a while. I'm going to sneeze again though. And then I will have to wash my hands again. That's almost good enough to start adding more, but not quite good enough. So if you don't know if your grease is hot enough, just throw one in there and see how it does. And we'll wait till it gets to the surface. It starts bubbling over like that. And now I think we're going to add more. Try to get some of the excess flour off before you drop it into your grease so it doesn't bubble up too bad. And I filled mine pretty deep, so it might bubble on me, but it's okay. That's just frying flour and egg. Anytime you got flour and egg in your mixture, you're going to get some bubbles over here. So I'm just going to shake that little excess off and fill the pan up. And they're going to kind of start sinking at the bottom a little bit because the zucchini's heavy. But then they should come up to the surface pretty quickly. This grease could be a little bit hotter. I'll probably turn it up to maybe a 7. And that's probably enough in there just for this round. So I'll keep making more. Just keep breading and breading and breading till you're about ready to fry your fingers like drumsticks. Don't do that though. Don't do that. Always remember safety first in the kitchen. Cooking is a ton of fun until you hurt yourself, so just don't hurt yourself in the kitchen. Rule number 1. Alright. And we got nice bubbly grease over here. And I'm going to put a little more top there. Still have a few more to get breaded. And we got some more ready for the fryer. I usually do turn these over one time, but it's a little hard to see them. So they're just kind of looking nice and greasy at the moment. It doesn't take too long to fry these. As soon as it starts getting to the color where it goes from like golden brown to kind of dark, that's the phase that we want to take these out. These are going to fry differently also because they're full of a ton of moisture. Zucchini happens to be a moist food that we can get our water from, our moisture from, but when we fry it, it kind of has to take some of that juice out. Some of the juice stays in, and it's just going to be so delicious. I know it sounds funny, but you should try it. Fried zucchini. Gotta try it. Thanks for watching me live. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And my t-shirt from my try-on haul. Check out my YouTube underboob t-shirt try-on haul. And check out these fried zucchinis too. So, those are still frying. I like my hands clean so I can kind of take these out, but I'm going to flip these over now and let them fry on the other side for a few more seconds. I could definitely put more in my grease next time because I have plenty of extra room. They're kind of floating around in here a little crazy. So the more you put in there, the better they are. Alright, so let's get these breaded. Let's keep working on this while we're working on that. And 2 zucchinis do go a long way, but 4 is a really good amount for a party or a get-together. And of course, if you have a really large get-together, you're probably going to need like 20 zucchinis. And it will probably require some helping hands. Unless you want to spend all night breading zucchini. And then you can just leave it in the flour, and then in the or when you're ready, just throw them all in the grease. And those are floating to the top very lovely. I'm going to give them a few more minutes though, because see how hard these are? It's because the skin is not cooked, and you really want that to turn soft. So you want to give it enough time like you would in a saute pan. If you cook squash in a pan, you'll know that it cooks pretty fast, but there's a very big difference between when it's like this and when it's ready to eat. So we kind of want that to do the same thing in the grease. So we want to give it enough time to cook it, but not enough time to burn it. So these are still, I can feel them, they're still a little bit heavy, not quite cooked enough. So we let those keep going, and we'll keep going on this. Sometimes you might have to add some more flour or cornmeal depending on what your flour is looking like, because it does take up the moisture as you're breading. And we're almost through our zucchinis here. How exciting. It would be cool if I could just reach through the TV and give you one to try. That would be really cool. Teleport it to you. Here's an order of fried zucchini. That's what they should come up with. Okay. And those are starting to make a nice sizzling sound, which tells me they're probably almost cooked. Okay. I love cooking. Especially when you get to eat it afterwards. Alright, so let's see if I can finish these before I gotta take my zucchini out of my grease. And I'm almost done here. So we know what this looks like. Let me show it to you. Ooh. Milked, battered zucchini ready to fry. And let's get our... Ooh. Let's get our... we're going to take our zucchini out of the grease and put them onto our paper towels or napkins with our grease spoon here. And I'm just going to kind of shake the grease. Oh, it's nice and crispy. So when you actually pick these up and you go like this, if you're not sure if they're ready or not, you can actually feel the crispiness on the spoon. And the sizzle, these are definitely done. So I'm going to shake the excess grease off. And I'm going to lay them out one layer at a time on my paper towels here because they will make each other soggy. And in order to get that crisp to stay for just a second, you kind of want them single layered onto your napkin. That is kind of a, you don't want the grease from the other one draining on each piece. You want them to just be nice and individually drained. So, we have almost got our first batch out of our grease and they're looking delicious. Let me put some more in here. Show you what this looks like real quick. Oh. See how they sizzle? That's exactly what you want them to look like. See how the crust has split a little bit? You're definitely going to get that every time just because of the moisture from the zucchini. So it's not going to be a perfect crisp like you'd say a chicken nugget. Or you'd say like a chicken strips. It's not going to be crusty like that. It's going to have this crisp, really thin delicacy. It's like a greasy delicacy. That's how I would describe it. So my grease is nice and hot, and I'm gonna put as many of these as I can fit. Oh, remember to try to get some of that excess flour off, and try not to throw them directly on top of another one. The grease should keep them separate. So just put them in one at a time. I kind of sometimes slide them off the edge when I don't know how much room's in there. And then I remix. Oh, that was a lot of flour. Okay. Then when you stir it, you can kind of get a feel for it. I need a few more in here without it bubbling over on me. If you see it's bubbling too much, try putting a little less or lowering your heat. This is not bubbling out the pan yet. I've had it to where it like bubbles all the way over. It's like a mess. Let's see. I think that's about enough for this round. That should be good. Okay, so we will finish our last few zucchinis that need to be breaded. Floured. Breaded, yeah, floured, same thing. And I'm going to put them in here, and then I'll try them for you. Don't go anywhere. I will try these deliciousness, bites of deliciousness for you. Oh, yeah. I forgot what plate to put them on. And here we go. So that's basically it. You just milk them, batter them, and fry them. Okay, so I'm going to try this beautiful little tiny crispy one that I told you was like going to be really crispy, and it came out to be the most crispiest. It has like the crunch that you would get like on a catfish with like the cornmeal in it. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. Fried zucchini. You never thought you'd try it, and then you find out you love it. So here we go. We're going to line these up, single files. And we're going to just sprinkle a little bit of garlic sauce on top just to garnish it. With a little bit of garlic sauce. And these are nice and hot. And nice and crispy. And nice and breaded. That's the best part. Use whatever spices are your favorite. Your go-to spices is what I like to call them, and my go-to. These three were my go-to spices. So let's see if we can get the last of these in here. And shake and bake. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. I hope you're having fun at home. I want to see those like buttons, so I know you guys really enjoy my stuff and my cooking. And give me a like button if you've tried this recipe. And I'm really trying hard not to eat those, but like I said, let's cover it in a little bit of garlic salt. Just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit more flavor, because I didn't quite like, I think I needed a little more seasoning in my flour mixture. So this is the stage you want to add any extra spices to. Do a little taste test. And be like, okay, I need some more. But it's perfect. These are perfect with just a little bit. I'm good. I'm calling it. The best part about this is it's very comforting. It's very, I mean, obviously it's fried, but it's a healthy fried version. And it really, oh, that plate is still hot. And it really is just, it's fun, it's different, it's unique. I don't know if a lot of people know about fried zucchini. I don't really quite remember where I came across it. I'll have to ask my mom. I don't remember. But it's delicious, and it's a part of my life now, and I will never not want to eat this. Leave me a comment, let me know if you like it, or anything that you did differently that made it come out even better. And my grease is nice and hot, so these aren't taking too long to fry. But it's not too hot to where it's going to burn them. You don't want to stir them too much, because you don't want to stir it too much because the breading is really sensitive on these. It can come off like really easy, like just like that, you know what I'm saying? So here's what it looks like. It's just a piece of nice fried zucchini, kind of like a pumpkin. This is my favorite part, when I can just take the whole plate. Obviously not this plate because it's hot. I burned my tissue a little bit. Don't tell nobody. Okay, so these are actually, before I take these off, I'm going to actually start putting these on my plate. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make little flowers out of my zucchini. So here's the pieces I cut in half, obviously. They just look a little different, but they taste the same. So you can kind of cut them in whatever shape you want. So we're going to have our little flower right there. Then we're going to have another little flower of fried zucchini over here. This is going to be a little half flower. Like that. And then we got another one over here. Like that. I want to eat that. That one's mine. My bad. So we'll just play with it until we're done. And let's see if I can touch this. Okay, that part's not too hot. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plate right here. And we'll go ahead and take out. No. You need like a few more minutes. Just a few. Just a few extra minutes. I do like to flip them if I can, but sometimes it's hard to see what I'm flipping. Because it's so bubbly. And let's get that little grease up. Thank you for hanging out with me on this fried zucchini adventure. I really hope you try this recipe at home. And definitely check out my next meal. What is it going to be? Maybe. Alright, so these should be done. I'm going to go ahead and take them out my grease. I'm going to go ahead and turn my stove off. And there we go. I'm going to put just a little bit of garlic salt on top, just like all the rest. And I'm so excited because these are so about to be in my tummy. At the end, I kind of get sloppy. I'm like, single file line. Not no more. It's a pile. And here we go. So, we have our stove off. We have our plate sprinkled. And let's make our flour. Our flour shaped. Our flour shaped. Ooh, these are still hot. Ooh, they hot. Whew, really hot. They're not getting any colder. Okay, so there we go. And there we go. And I tell you what, after a long Monday and standing over this beautiful plate of deliciousness, I am very satisfied, and I am about to go find me a movie. What I watched the other day, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. Arnold, you know Arnold. He was in Total Recall. Yeah, that's a good one. I might throw that back on tonight. Movie night, fried zucchini instead of popcorn. Believe it or not, this is actually better for you. Fried zucchini is better for you than popcorn. What? Yep, it's true. And I'm telling you what, it tastes even better. I probably said that like 20 times, but it really does. This is our beautiful fried zucchini. Look how gorgeous that is. My bite. Thank you for joining me for my fried zucchini.